Welcome to the only pod in the world bringing together the conflicting EPL views of a seriously seething Spurs fan and a massively miffed member of the Gooner gang. This is episode 2, and this is the Cock and Arse Football Podcast.
Nice one.
Roll the jingle.
Comes in again. He's scored again. This is absolutely incredible. Tottenham do not know what to do. And Leonard has equalised. Extraordinary story of the season. It's Torres to give a place in the Champions League final. The headline has been written. Unbelievable!
Good to be back.
I'm delighted to be back, to be honest, mate.
Feels good, doesn't it?
It's going to be interesting. I think this is a bit like right now. You know, like when you watch dog racing at the bookies. It's going to be like the moment where the hatches come up and the dogs just run free. That's what it feels like for me. Anyway,
we're looking for that rabbit.
Yeah. Because Lee and I have spent about an hour together tonight already, and we agreed that we wouldn't talk about football until we started the show.
That's right.
So obviously, right now we've been unleashed.
Unleash the beast.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick talk about England.
Yeah.
Just because there were
it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah. And you went to one of the games. So.
Went to one of them. I went to the San Marino game, which is okay. Bit of a non-event.
Yeah. 5-0. It was. Did you enjoy it? You enjoyed the old trip to Wembley?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It's what you expect. I think the England fixtures, in my point of view, they're like a family. It's family football. That's what it's about. I think going
family football.
Yeah, I think for taking a family to games.
Yeah. Especially a San Marino game.
Yeah,
guaranteed
I think
ticket.
that's what it was. But I just wanted this one thing that I was wanting to say was that there was this completely annoying bugger sitting behind.
As always.
And he had 3 kids with him, and they were all about 4, 5 or 6.
Uh-huh.
None of them gave a shiny shit about the game.
Yeah.
You could say after I could hear them about 30 minutes. One of them was whining that he wanted to go home. He was bored, and it was just. I just thought, like, why? Are you? They're not that interested. You force them to go. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff in Wembley. It's too late for kids of that age.
Exactly. You don't want to be taken on the Jubilee line at that kind of hour afterwards either, do
exactly.
you?
It was. So when it got to half time, he was saying, "Oh, we'll go soon," and he was saying, like, when they were kind of being a bit naughty, he was going, "Right, well, we're saying the whole game now," and he was so vocal about it. And then he got halfway through half time. He said to them, "Right, we're going to go. It's on the 65th minute. We're going home." And I felt like saying, "Bugger off now! Like,
if you want to go, mate, just go.
Why wait another 20 minutes? Just go. You're annoying. Your kids don't want to stay here."
Yeah.
And then for the 20 minutes that he stayed in the second half, every minute was like, "We're going in 16 minutes. We're going in 15 minutes," and it was so. It was so annoying for me. And like, I was looking around, and like, if he hadn't looked like so much of a thug, I probably would have said something. But
Yeah.
The sort of person that
You didn't think you could take him.
it's just waste. Really, that's what I wanted to say about that game. It did spoil it for me.
As he walked out, did you look over and go, "Sorry to have kept you"?
I'll tell you, whilst we're still on England, there's one other thing I wanted to say. Was that the second game obviously got postponed, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it got rescheduled for the next day, and it was on in the afternoon. So obviously I was at work, I was working like most people, and I couldn't see the game. And I sat up to about 11 o'clock to put highlights on ITV. ITV did the poniest highlights going. I mean, it's so... When I was listening to it on the radio at work and on the way home, it sounded like England played shit. and Poland they had enough chances to win the game. You watch fucking ITV highlights, you would think it's one-way traffic.
Mm.
They showed every chance of England. I think they showed one. They basically showed the goal for Poland.
Was it very biased coverage?
And I've noticed it a lot of times with England games. It's so biased. It's so poorly put together.
Mm.
And they've got like that Matt Smith or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Presenting. It's just.
Is this like a potential football by letters moment? Can we vent any anger through
It's
football by
potential.
punch?
There's potential.
I think that could be next on the hit list, couldn't it?
It's
For
a piece of
football by
paper has been pulled out already on that. You might like it. We'll
Alright,
say
cool.
that on.
Yeah, we'll do it. Right, so game one of the week was Tottenham at White Hart Lane against Chelsea, who are at the top of the league going into the game. So they're facing a stiff test against informed Spurs. I was at the pub for it, and I saw most of the game when I was talking through a lot of it because I was with friends. So, how do you feel? Is anything the matter? Like, what's up, mate? Are you feeling good?
Very good. Well, Chelsea won 4-2.
Did they? They
Yeah.
didn't.
No, yeah.
They did, didn't they? Yeah, 4-2. Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, 4-2. Yeah.
What I will say is that I think the scoreline flatters them. Some
Okay,
people
yeah.
might disagree with that point of view. I think 4 goals is too much.
Mm-hmm.
They kept the ball really well in the first half, and they had most of the ball in the first half, and they just knocked it about, but they didn't do a great deal.
Mm-hmm. So are you saying that Cahill's goal came against a run of play?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I think Chelsea, they kept the ball, and whilst they had the better of it in the first half, they didn't do a great deal with it. They really scored from that chance, which is a great goal. Fantastic.
Well, that's the thing though with goals like that, of that quality and calibre. On another day, that is
It's
going
going into
into row Z. It's possibly even out of the ground. I
Yeah.
mean, that stand's probably quite small, I imagine, that White Hart Lane.
Oh.
So it could have easily gone
Over both the heads.
yeah, could have easily gone over the stand and out into the streets. But so I can see your point there. Actually, a belter can come any time. On another day, it doesn't happen. So maybe that kind of supports your point a bit.
Yeah, and I think that from the off, we didn't create enough in the first half, and Dempsey had an absolutely appalling game. It was probably his worst game since we've had him. Every time he got the ball, he just didn't seem to know what to do with it. He clinged onto the ball for far too long,
Yeah.
and he wasted so many good opportunities when we countered with pace. He slowed it down for some reason. I don't know why he was doing it. He was turning around, and he wasted. It was like 2 or 3 chances through the game we had, where we had real good chances just to get that ball going, and he was like he was walking through mud.
Yeah.
Wasted it, and I really felt that he needed to go off at half time. He needed to go off at half time, and we needed to change things up. And I felt that Defoe, take off Defoe and Dempsey, and bring on like Andy Townsend, legitimate son possibly.
Yeah.
But him and Adibor, I thought could have offered us something different, because we didn't have anything going down that left flank apart from Vertonghen.
Uh-huh. Who's being played out of position at the moment anyway.
Yeah,
So.
he was probably our best player.
Yeah, I'm not
Again.
surprised. I've already said that he looks a good player. I've said that in a previous episode. He got the assist, didn't he, for the Gallas goal?
Yeah.
Do you know, everything went. Everything went wrong for me this weekend, football-wise, from on every level. I was even moments before Gallas scoring, I was just ripping him, saying, why are they still playing him? He's 35, and all of a sudden he pops up with a goal.
To be honest, he had an absolute shocker.
Apart from
the
the
goal,
thing.
that's all he did.
Yeah.
All he did, he was at, in my view, he was at fault for 3 of the goals, and possibly 4. He's too old. He's too slow.
It's the thing. I think once he gets a certain age,
He's got,
particularly in that position
he's
now.
got the passion, and he wants to win, and he wants to be a leader, and he wants to play at this level. I think he's just he doesn't
Yeah,
have the physical
yeah.
things to go. The thing about this game is that we started without Bow and Dembele.
Okay. Yeah. What was that?
Dembele was an injury from international break,
Uh-huh.
and Bow, his missus was giving birth, I think.
Oh, okay.
So he was
that's
actually
cool.
he was in the team lineup, and then just for the game,
He has to nip off.
he buggered off.
Yeah.
And so you see that sort of thing. Chelsea finding that out, that's a big plus for them. I think that's probably why the first half we were a bit like, what's going on, and that's why nothing happened down the left wing.
I reckon they were
Because-
kind of shitting it when they were thinking, we could be playing Bell here, and then, there's a lot of pressure.
Dembele and Bale are two better players, so to be without them, that's a big blow.
Yeah,
That's a big blow.
definitely.
And it changes the style of play because we brought in Sigurdsson, and he kind of changed position about 4 or 5 times throughout the game. It's just ridiculous. And like I said to you before, Sigurdsson is absolutely desperate for Adebayor to play. He isn't gonna link up with Defoe at all. So really, I couldn't see the point of playing Sigurdsson if you're not going to play Adebayor.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Cool.
yeah, so our mate.
It's interesting, isn't it? How you were punished by a guy that you were quite nice to last week.
Yeah, he done it. This is what I'm saying. Everyone was writing him off, and the fantasy football. I'm going to say it again.
I took him out of my team.
At the start of the season, he's worth 9.5 million. Everyone obviously jumped on him, and then as soon as Hazard and these other people jumped on, they've just sacked off Mata,
Yeah.
and he's gone down to be about 8.8 million or something silly. What's he done in the last 3 weeks? He's contributed to about 8 goals.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
He's been a star man.
I took him out as well, though, to be honest. But only because I heard that they were going to give him a bit of a rest. I heard
He's
that
brilliant.
they were.
He's brilliant. He's one of the best players in the league.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the thing with Chelsea. They can just punish you. They don't. It doesn't take much for their players to punish you, which is what happened. I think. Their goals were all good quality goals.
Yeah. Well, I think we had chances. If you look at the stats, we had about 20 odd chances, right? And they had under 10. But they were clinical with their chances, particularly that third goal where they played the ball into Hazard and he just pinged it between Gallas and Walker, and Mata just came in and it was just ridiculous. We just got split open there. But we had chances. We had so many chances. Defoe had chances. Adebayor had that chance where it came to me in a box, and instead of just pushing his foot forward and hitting it, he decided to take a touch.
Yeah.
And he's got the worst touch in the league out of any player. His touch is about 3 foot. So he needs to have no one around him when he receives the ball. And he took a touch, had 3 defenders around him, chance gone.
Yeah.
So we had the chances, but
I think you have to give yourself.
they were sucker punch, and especially the last goal. It's a non-goal because Mata just came. He stole the ball from Walker, and we just went to sleep. Everyone just went to sleep, and they just rolled it across, and Story just tapped it in at the back post.
Yeah, I kind of know what you mean.
It was
just so easy for them, wasn't it?
It was just.
Although Mata did well to win the ball.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
So you can only credit Mata, really.
It's like we're 3-2 down. We're still in the game.
You just threw it
and
away.
then we might as well just scored an own goal.
Was it frustrating? Like to what degree was it frustrating for you as a fan?
I think it was really frustrating because I think we could have won.
I think when you went, what was it, 2-1 up or 3-2? Yeah, when you went 2-1 up, did you fancy it?
I felt we needed another goal, but I thought we could get it.
Yeah.
I actually thought we could get it.
I thought in the second half you came out and played quite well. Initially, like the first.
The
start
thing
of
is
the second
that
half.
AVB did the same thing as he's done before, where
he was clearly choked, wasn't he?
Yeah, but
he really wanted that one.
For some reason, he gets to this point where he just tries to do a tactical substitution, and he brought on Livermore. And really, there was no need to bring him on.
Is there ever any need to bring on Livermore?
Because he isn't going to do anything, right? Exactly. He's quite sound. He'd tap it about and everything. But he thought it was almost like he wanted to shore it up, but we didn't need to shore it up. It's like when you're when you're winning, and you get managers to come in, we're going to take off our only centre forward, bring on a defender or whatever. That basically means you have to defend. You can't attack. So it just defeats the object. And he kind of did that. And as he was making the substitution, we've conceded. It's 2-2. And now you're thinking, right, we've taken off an attacking player. We've got this defensive-minded player. We're up against it now.
Yeah,
but we still managed to create so many chances. Sigurdsson had a really good chance as well where the ball came to him and he kind of volleyed it and he just knocked it down and bounced up to the keeper. Defoe had loads of chances. Yeah. One thing I was going to say about Defoe was he moved out wide when Adebayor finally did come on, and he played on the left, and he did quite well, I thought. I know he's not a left winger, but he played basically like as a left-sided attacker, and he was cutting in and he was taking shots.
It's Defoe, sorry. Right?
Yeah, Defoe, and he had plenty of chances, and I thought maybe they should have just fucking started that from the start.
Yeah.
We knew Bale wasn't in, just bring on Adebayor and play Defoe out there.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, to be fair though, AVB's not been there before, has he? It's new territory for him. He's never had that sprung upon him before.
No.
So I think overall though, there's positives to take from that game for you guys.
Yeah. Also,
I think at least you gave him a game of it.
Yeah, I think.
More than anything
Also,
else.
I think the positive is that obviously we had Dembele out, who's our key midfielder.
No Bale.
Bale's our top best player, but we also had Kabul out, Scott Parker, Benny Asuakoto. So we kind of
Lot
there's a lot of quality
good
there.
players
A
to
lot
come
of
back
quality
in
there.
it.
Yeah. So
Scott
we'll
Parker.
see. We'll see.
Get Parker back. It will
One
into place.
One thing I was going to say was that I think this scoreline could be the start of the end for Friedal. He was brought in.
Oh right. He was brought back.
They played Loris because he had the France game coming up. Then they brought back Friedal. They said he was number one, but I think it'll possibly be used as an excuse to phase him out of the team now.
Yeah. Well, the thing is though, right? As good as Friedal has been for Spurs, which he has undoubtedly been a great, actually, not just for Spurs, but for every team he's played for in the Premier League, and for however many years he's been playing for in the Premier League. He's too old now. Well, not too old. I'm not saying his performances reflect his age, or
he does amazing for his age.
Yeah, definitely. But the point is, Spurs need to think about the future in the next 20 years.
That's it. Yeah.
And Loris is the one that's going to provide you with a good goalkeeper for the next 20 years.
He's going to be the nuts.
So, thanks, Brad. You've had a good shot in goal. It's time to move on from you, I think. Play the remainder of your career out in the States.
To be fair, we've got Kudachini and whoever else, Gomez.
Too many keepers.
At Christmas, we could let him go, and he could sign up for. He could move on to Norwich or not Norwich or someone like that. Do you know, or Southampton. Someone they're desperate for.
Exactly, someone that's desperate for a top quality.
And he could play another 6 months in the Premier League.
Yeah,
first choice.
Yeah, you know, it's not the end for Friedal, is what we're saying here. We're saying that his four walls don't have to end at Spurs. You know,
no way.
They're not at Spurs.
No, he's done good for us as well. I like Friedal, but it's time for him to. I think it's time, fresh blood. Especially as this is a very transitional team as well.
Yeah,
we're moving
agree.
forward.
You've got a new manager, you've got new players coming in.
He's changing the style.
I agree.
So
I agree.
The next game is Fulham v Villa. Not the most memorable game, but Fulham. They got
a goal here.
They got
Theirs,
a 1-0 against Villa, who they're struggling.
Yeah, Villa are struggling. Fulham, good result though for him. Good result.
It's a home game, isn't it?
Yeah.
The thing I was thinking
Clean
about Villa was that their team is almost unrecognisable, isn't it? From about 18 months ago. I was just looking at their team, and
well, it's funny you mention it, because I was just thinking I can't name anyone in it.
It's just ridiculous. It's under McLeish, he was forced to sell their best players. Okay. And so they brought in a few really ropey players. And then Lambert's gone out and bought like about 7 or 8 more players. I know that Villa fans are probably thinking that he hasn't been given any money or whatever, but I heard that he spent about 6 million on this Benteke chap.
Yeah.
That's big money. Like, I know it's not your hazard, but it's 6 million. So
Still a bit of money, isn't it? Yeah.
And they bought. It seems to me that they bought 3 or 4 players, all in for £1 million transfers of players from lower leagues, and it is a risk. It's something that I'm for, buying players from.
Paul Lambert's certainly struggling to get that ship moving in any kind of direction.
Well, we turned them over the previous week quite comfortably.
Yeah.
They're going to struggle. I really feel sorry for the Villa fans because I've been to Villa and they do seem like a good crop of fans. They've got a nice stadium. Something's not happening for them, and every season they lose their best players.
Yeah, what have they had to cheer about?
But the thing about Villa, which I find bizarre, the most bizarre thing, is I think every year they've basically sold their best player. Young, Milner, Barry, whoever else. Over the last years, they've been unlucky with like Martin Larsson retiring and Petrov getting leukemia, was it? Last year.
He's ill, isn't he? Last year.
But in between that, they went out and spent 24 million on Bent. They went out and spent 24 million on Bent, and then
you can always justify a fee. That's a player. There's a player that can justify a transfer fee.
They went out and whacked 24 million. That's big money. That is massive money.
Well, it's more money than we've ever spent.
And
on anyone.
6 months later, they're still young and down. It's just bizarre. They're badly run. It's just weird that they would go out and spend 24 million.
They clearly don't have massive money, do they?
Who else is spending 24 million on a player? No one is spending 24 million.
No, but you just said that they sold players perhaps to offset that. And maybe that's why those players were sold.
Yeah, but
they got Bent and then they sold.
Look at Bent. Bent's coming in for 24 million, and he's thinking, I'm one of the big dogs now. 24 million.
Yeah, but do you know why they signed Bent?
Do I know why they signed him? Because they needed a centre forward.
Goals.
Yeah, goals. I know, but
exactly.
But the fact is, he ain't going to score goals if no one's putting them on a plate for him.
No, that's true.
And the fact is, he probably came to the club with the impression that people like Young and Downey and others were going to be built, and they just flogged it from beneath.
At the end of the day,
and he's left with Stephen Ireland and Agbon Lahore and Barry Bannon.
Villa, it's just bleak. Being a Villa fan, surely it's a little bit disheartening. But to be fair to them, they've remained in the Premier League.
I think they'll do it.
They'll do it again.
They should do it again purely because of they've still got some quality. Darren Bent. The other teams haven't got Darren Bent. Do you know what I mean? Exactly. So if they play like Lambert was dropping him a couple of weeks ago. It's like what I was saying to you about QPR of the week, building a team around throughout. They need to massage Darren Bent's balls every day of the week so he can just put the ball in the back.
They need to massage his balls so they can bust his balls.
Exactly.
To keep him in.
That's what they need to do
in the hunt.
Liverpool Reading 1-0.
Yep. Liverpool smashing him in again.
And
Raheem scoring. Sterling got his first goal.
What do you think about him? Do you think he's good?
Yeah, I think he's got potential. Certainly, he's. I haven't seen much of him, but the games that I have seen him in, he definitely has potential to be quite an attacking threat. Like he can penetrate, get in behind. He's got a lot of pace. Yeah.
But is he just pace?
It's mostly pace.
Is he
I don't think he's not that technical, is he? He's not.
Is he like the new Shawn Wright-Phillips?
It could be a very good early prediction.
Yeah. That's what I want. I think the Liverpool fans are getting really excited about him, like he's going to be
like Ronaldo or something, or
some sort of new superstar. But I haven't really seen much from him that I'm thinking, wow, this guy's going to be amazing.
No,
he looks all right, and he'll probably get a career in the Premier League. The thing about Liverpool
is he going to turn into one of those budget wingers that we mentioned last week?
Yeah, like Danny Cadamartri,
like Kieran Richardson, like a Wayne Routledge, that kind of.
But even that,
it's mainstream pacey winger.
The thing about these pacey wingers is they get found out. They can't burst onto the scene because they have that thing.
Yeah, and everyone goes, "Oh."
They'll split someone's arse and score a few goals or whatever, and everyone's like, "Fucking hell, this guy's amazing." But then as the time progresses, you see they haven't really got much else. They just drop down the divisions and they struggle because all they've got is pace.
Yeah.
And I'm yet to see anything from him. The thing about Liverpool is
because
they've got so few options in attacking positions. He's come in and Rodgers has thought, I'm going to take a punt on him.
Yeah.
I don't fancy shoot down him because he's pony.
He's just shit.
So we'll have Sterling. We'll give him a go. and we'll see if he's any good.
Yeah, no, I
And
agree.
he's got like 1 goal and 1 assist.
But at the end of the
so
day,
it's not
though,
exactly
what I will
he's not
say
setting
is,
everyone on fire.
he's not setting everyone on fire, but if you look at a lot of young players that come through, particularly that age, a lot of them fail to make an impression. Do you know what I mean? Because it is difficult when you're that inexperienced to make an impression at the top level. I think that's highlighted in the form of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. If you look at him, he's very hit and miss. Some games he'll come in and have a good game, and other games he'll be totally ineffectual.
I don't know whether he'll be the next Shawn Wright-Phillips or the next, I don't know, the next whoever. There aren't very many successful pacey wings, is there?
Joe Cole?
Not joking. It's weird. That's what I'm saying about pacey wings. Is that when you think about it, who are the successful ones? That's what I'm saying. They kind of drew.
Well,
you've got Theo Walcott, you've got Aaron Lennon, but
They're
they're in amongst the England squad. But are they? They're not brilliant, are they?
Well, they're not getting anywhere near the Spanish team, are they?
No.
I know it's a different style of football, but
But then you move on to play people like Kieran Richardson and Shawn Wright-Phillips and other people that I can't even think of that have just fallen away. I think it's the position that's probably the most trickiest to sustain high-level performances.
Okay, good left winger.
Gareth Bale.
No, great left winger. I'm not saying he's not great, but yeah, Gareth Bale. Okay, so what's different between Bale and Sterling then at the moment? Do you think it's age, isn't it? It could come with age.
It is age. It could come.
Is Bale as good?
Bale's different. Bale's different because he's a freak. Because not only has he got skill and pace,
No, he's just had him pinned back. You're talking about on the football. Sorry, mate.
One thing about Liverpool, with the friend of the show, Joe Cole,
Yeah.
no action this week.
Really, no action, no minutes.
No action, no minutes.
Oh.
Didn't even make the bench. Didn't even.
It's like okay, Man United Stoke. So what was this?
Rooney got an own goal.
Yeah, cosy.
Maybe. He kind of just walked into it.
This game I saw a match of the day too. I didn't see it in the pub. It wasn't on, but yeah, it was. Stoke got that. They got a head start, didn't they? Rooney own goal, but
Yeah, but
you always knew the Man United were going to come back and win that.
They're only going to have a problem with that.
I tell you what was a bit choking. It's just a bit hard from an Arsenal point of view to look at that game. Two great balls into the box from out wide, one from the left, one from the right.
Yes, yeah. Fantastic one from RVP.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
straight on the bonds.
It's absolutely perfect.
I saw that result when I was okay in the pub, but it was when I saw it on the highlights on Match of the Day. I just had a bit of an empty feeling inside. And it's like seeing your ex-girlfriend that you're kind of over, but having a great time, you know. With
I thought you were going to say having sex.
Well, I was going to say
you get in that position to see that. Get those binoculars out.
But do you know what I mean? No, it is a bit like seeing your ex-partner having a wild time with someone else. So, but yeah, I genuinely felt a bit depressed after that game because they're clearly linking up well. Everyone said they would. Rooney, Van Persie, they're going to be unstoppable, and there was a bit of a link up. I think, wasn't it? Didn't they? Oh no, because RVP's goal came from, I think it was like a Valencia assist, but Rooney still knocked it in for Welbeck, for Welbeck's goal. So what he got the assist for Welbeck's goal, but RVP and Rooney.
That crossing by RVP's. It's the sort of ball that seems to be getting phased out over the years. That kind of.
I love the way you say it as if it's been someone's like sat down and made a decision to do that.
Yeah,
I have to start phasing this type of ball out, guys. It's so 1996.
It's like when you look at football, there's very few. There's less and less goals being scored from a ball being whipped in from wide, especially a cutting, curving ball.
That kind of arcs back towards the 6-yard line.
Yeah, it was a bit like Tom Huddleston's free kick that we scored. That kind of ball that kind of comes out from real deep wide, curves right in, and it's dangerous. It's a dangerous ball because defenders always struggle with it. But it seems to be less and less because of the passing game that's being developed, and everyone wants to be like Spain. They're passing the ball and they're trying to split defences open.
It's like
they're not whipping the ball in. Less people are doing a Gerrard Hollywood ball and punting it, curving into the box for someone to nut it.
Yeah, it's an interesting point because I think if you think about the teams that are capable of playing a good passing game, as you say, you mentioned there yourself that they're striving to be like Barcelona. which you believe is affecting the way the whole league is at the moment. If they are in that wide position, then we're looking more to go to cut inside or go towards the byline inside the penalty box, rather than exploit that pocket closer to the corner flag. And teams that do play balls into the box more aren't going to. They're looking to get it in a lot earlier than that, so they're not going into that position either. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you don't see many players out wide in that area.
Sure.
As much because they're just looking to cut inside, get to the byline. If you're in the
It's
box,
the-
you've got a better chance of getting a penalty.
You
and
look-
play it along the floor into the
Yeah.
the cutback.
You look at the early days of the Premier League, the sort of strike. I know that the striker is evolving, but players like Les Ferdinand and like Alan Shearer, that sort of ball being whipped in, they were loving that. They were eating it up and scoring loads of goals. You hardly ever see it now, but it's still such a powerful weapon. And I
If you
think
can play it well,
teams
I
need to
think-
mix it up. Teams need to mix it up.
Yeah, I
that's what
think
I'm
the thing
saying.
is, though, it's probably quite a difficult pass to play because there's a fine line between it becoming a chance or creating a chance or being collected comfortably by the goalie.
This is the thing.
So it's
a lot of teams are probably thinking that the likelihood is that it's going to get headed out.
exactly
And
so.
it's a counter attack.
So therefore, you'll do as we said. You'll try and play it, get around that man, get to the ball and cut it back.
Yeah.
'Cause there's more chance of reaching.
It's a shame.
Yeah,
It's a shame.
I mean, I would never have thought about it, and the fact that someone might have tried to phase it out, Cozy.
Yeah, I
So-
think someone's got to care for and collectively decide.
Yeah,
that
this
it
that
needs to be a
ball's
shot at that.
a little bit old hat.
So,
Next game, mate.
I tell you, before we go on to the next game, just one last point on there. Our other friend of the show, Michael Owen,
Oh yeah, go on.
he got a mammoth 16 minutes.
Did he? Did he? So he's recovered from his injury then.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
He's not going
enough to get.
So
I looked on the
that's
stats and he got
good.
8 passes. He attempted 8 passes, so he actually touched the ball. It wasn't like
Oh.
it wasn't like he just went and had a jog. He did actually get a few touches.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. Well, that's
No,
encouraging.
no goals
That-
though.
No, but that is still encouraging because he's not out, and we want to see him on the pitch, like we said last
And
week.
to be fair, for Stoke, for a player to have 8 passes, that's quite high, really, when you think about it.
West Brom City, Cozy. Good game, wasn't it? It was actually on in the pub. So I saw quite a bit of this one.
They almost
It was-
ballsed it up, didn't they?
Who?
City.
Oh yeah, it was touch and go. See, almost balls it up, but I'm glad they didn't because I cannot bear the thought of anyone other than Chelsea. I cannot bear the thought of Man United winning the league this season. So as long as somebody else wins it and not them, I'm happy. So I was happy that City won that, and I'm a massive fan of Dzeko.
You love him, don't you?
Yeah, I don't know why they don't play him more often. I think he's.
But they've got too much quality.
Well,
It's when
yeah,
you've got,
he's-
when you've
yeah,
got,
but
you've
at
got
the end of the
Tevez, for me,
Ain't
pound,
winning
pound
it.
for pound, Tevez is up there with he's the best 3 players in the league.
Yeah, but at the moment and form this season, you have to say Dzeko is every time called upon, produced the goods.
When they interviewed him, whoever was into, I can't remember who it was, they called him a super sub.
Right.
Did you see that?
No.
I can't remember who it was. I can't remember whether it was BBC or Sky or whatever. But whoever it was called him a super sub, and he wasn't happy with that. He wasn't.
No,
happy
he
with
shouldn't
it.
be. Why-
He kind of said, "I'm not a super sub.
This
I
is
don't want to
Edin
be a super.
Dzeko.
I want to play."
This is Edin Dzeko, Bosnian's finest, right? At the end of the day, it doesn't surprise me because how can you expect that rabble up there to recognise quality and class? They're going to play Balotelli over Dzeko.
Well,
I
they paid big money as well, didn't they? They didn't
did.
just get him for cheap. He
Exactly.
cost like 20 or
Exactly. Play him. Play. You know, I just think play him more.
I don't know. City, they've got a weird squad of players, and there's quality, but
Quantity.
I don't know.
There's quality and quantity.
Like I've said it before, I think it's going to be them or Chelsea that are going to win the title.
Do you know what, Cozy? After Chelsea's 4-2 victory over you, and the way just some of the play, some of the glimmers that I saw in their play, I think you could be right. You know, I think you could have something there. Tangent anyway. West Brom did well. Gave them a good run for their money. I like West Brom. Big fan.
They're disappointed that
Oh, of course. Like if you concede a goal late on like that, you're always going to be a little bit disappointed. But they look a lot more comfortable this year than they have done for quite a while. So yeah, their goal's a bit of a I didn't wing it. It was a bit of a shot turned kind of accidental through ball.
Yeah, long tapped it in.
Yeah,
He was the one that got Milner sent off, wasn't he? He kind of flew in there and Milner just kind of dropped him.
Yeah, it was. But he went because he was like kind of like the last man, wasn't he?
Yeah. Basically, and because he was running at such pace, the likelihood is that he would have gone and got a shot through.
Yeah,
he got sent off quite early, didn't he? So you think City had to play a long percentage of the game, or a big
it shows
percentage
character.
of the
It shows
game?
character. They came back to.
I suppose that's why they're champions, aren't they?
Exactly. They're gonna. All I'm saying is, like, you can say what you like about how well they're playing this season, and the points you've already made just now. I think that they're still getting results, and that's key. That's just you can't see them not getting results. That's the bottom line.
Well, when you've got the attacking lineup of Tevez, Aguero, Balotelli, and there's goals there.
Exactly, yeah.
And you've got someone like Toure. He hasn't really shown much this season.
I think Silva's not really doing much, is he?
Is it Silva and Nadri? What have they done this season?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Imagine if they pick up form.
Which they will do.
It will be dangerous.
Definitely.
It'll be scary for the rest of the team. Will be like, fuck man.
Yeah.
Real,
that's the thing. I think you might be right. It could be between them and Chelsea.
I think it will, because I think United they've got too many holes. They've got too many holes, and other teams will be able to beat them. We actually missed the Swansea versus Wigan game.
Did we?
Yeah.
How the hell could we forget that?
How could we forget that? That was just.
How could we forget that blockbuster?
It was a bit of a blockbuster, wasn't it? Swansea won.
Yeah, 2-1.
I was thinking about that game, and I kind of said that Swansea were on a downhill last week, weren't they? I think they probably still are, but
No, they'll be alright. They're going to get out of it.
home game against Wigan.
No, they're going to be fine.
Boyce scored a back heel.
Did he?
He scored a funny old. The ball came to him and he kind of stuck his foot out and kind of.
A
karate back heel.
Yeah, great goal. I do remember it actually.
So, and the other thing about that game was Kone, your mate.
Yeah, he got a goal, didn't he? Which should have been allowed.
But the ball
kind of just hit him.
The ball whipped it in, and it just spanked him right on the nose and went in.
Yeah.
He didn't even know anything about it, and then he was like,
What are you flagging this offside for, ref? You're gonna laugh. You see that header? It's amazing technique.
The only thing that would have made that even better was if he turned around and his nose was just streaming.
It's like, what are you flagging offside for?
I meant it.
It's blood flowing. Yeah, but poor old Wigan, Martinez. He's still trying to claw him with some kind of safety.
Yeah,
Just trying to pick up, just scrape for points. Get some points.
At the moment, they're just outside the zone, aren't they? They're just outside. I know it doesn't mean anything at this stage of the season, but they're just outside the zone. Haven't really done anything.
No,
They
nothing
haven't done
really to
anything
shout
that you
about.
know.
No.
You just wonder. They're definitely in the six. They're in the six that are a problem. West Ham versus Southampton.
All Southampton get another tonking at the hands of
it's-
Noble, Nolan, and Myga.
What was interesting about this is that Southampton, they played their third keeper of the season.
Did they?
And not for any injuries, as far as I'm aware. It was a tactical. They've gone through the first choice, utter pony. Second choice, just flapping all over the joint. And then they brought in this geezer, Artur Boruc.
Was he any better?
Oh, he let 4 in. So it's not a good sign.
Yeah,
is it?
but when you're playing the likes of Nolan, Noble, come on, mate, and Carroll, you know what I mean? You've got to deal with that kind of attacking quality. You're always going to struggle, especially with the 4 that are in front of you.
Yeah,
the thing is,
Southampton, they're shit. I've come to that conclusion.
Well, they're not shit. They're just in that kind of.
They concede at least 3 every week.
Yeah, well, yeah. They're not quite Premier League quality, but they're slightly better than Championship quality. so they're
Oh yeah,
they're kind of
if they were in the Championship this season, they would comfortably win it.
exactly, and then,
But
well, maybe not comfortably.
this is
so
just terrorist.
Yeah, but good result for West Ham. They're pretty. They got too much
Lambert,
quality for the likes of Southampton.
The other thing that he did is he dropped Lambert. From what I've seen, he seems to be one of their better players. And if anyone's going to do anything, he's the one. I think the other players they've got, like Rodriguez, who they came from Burnley, okay, but again he might just be someone with a little bit of pace. Lambert looks like a genuine, almost like a budget version of Shearer.
Okay, yeah.
Because he's got a bit of strength, he's got good feet, he can cross the ball, shoot, power, good penalty kicks, gets in the box with headers. Just play him. Just play him. And that he isn't, for some reason. Southampton, I haven't got a chance.
Can we say anything positive about Southampton?
So,
just in that very unlikely event that we might get somebody
to be
that
honest,
supports Southampton to listen to this
in
podcast.
my list of things about this game, there's nothing positive about Southampton.
No.
I'll tell you
Well,
what.
the thing is, it's hard to be positive about a team that's getting tonks week in, week out, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, do you know what? I would like them to stay up because I've always had a bit of a soft spot for Southampton because I always associate them as a Premier League club because of when I was younger and the sticker albums, and Laetitia and the players and the Dell. So for me, for Southampton not to be in the Premier League, it's not right. So I like having them in there.
What I worry about with Southampton is that when they came up, they obviously knew what their weaknesses were, and they've gone out and they've spent quite a lot of money. That Rodriguez was about 7 million, and they brought the guy from Serie A, forget what his name is, for about 11 million, and they brought a few other players.
So it's not like they haven't spent money.
No, they've spent money. They've had the money available, and their defence is so poor.
Yeah,
3 goalkeepers, all really, really poor. They need to, and they should have invested in someone. See, the Southampton need to go out and, like we were talking earlier, Friedal, take him.
Yeah,
It's perfect, absolute match made in heaven.
We're giving him to you.
Move on to the big game,
What's a big game?
the showstopper.
Oh no.
Norwich versus Arsenal.
Are you going to enjoy this one, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright.
So, what happened?
What do you mean, what happened?
What went right?
What went right? Nothing, mate. Absolutely
I'm going to tell you.
diddly squat all.
This is what I've written there. Arteta, 100 passes sums up the game.
Yeah, okay.
Completely sums up the game.
Well,
He had over 100 passes and did absolutely bugger all.
yeah, I know.
He probably had as many passes. I know these passing stats, it shows you that they mean actually fuck all, but he had as much as the ball as probably half of the Norwich team.
Yeah, I know.
And he...
No.
What did he do?
Okay, mate, I'm gonna start talking now about this game.
Do it.
Well, first of all, I'm choked, as you know, right?
You weren't expecting this one, were you?
What, the defeat?
Yeah.
No, if I'm honest. But Pete, I was asked before the game by a number. I have a friend that's a Norwich fan, and I was asked, what do you think of this one? Away win, isn't it? And I went back to him and said, well, it should be if we turn up. But if we don't turn up, then the only way we won't is if we don't turn up. And that happened. We just did not turn up on any level. It was so frustrating to watch. I don't know what went wrong. I don't know what went wrong for us. It seemed to be a motivation thing rather than anything else. I think maybe a lot of the players thought they could just turn up at Carrow Road and walk it. No, the Premier League doesn't work like that. If you're not ready or prepared, you're not going to win a game of football. It doesn't matter who you're playing. Southampton, QPR. Well, actually, you might against Southampton, but not anybody else. But just absolutely shit. A totally terrible performance. I'm totally livid, totally ashamed. It was a complete horse shit performance, and I don't know on what level that's acceptable. Because you know exactly what Arsene's going to come out and say. He's going to come out and go, well, the international break came at a bad time for us, and we've dropped physically a bit. But the thing is, everyone else won.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody else,
Well,
all the
not
other,
everyone.
well, not as bad. But do you know what I mean? All the other top sides won. City come out and do it. Man United come out and do it. Chelsea come out and do it. And we couldn't do it. I don't know what it is. I think it's... the thing is...
Wenger's probably blaming it on Walcott getting injured for England.
Exactly. He probably we had a number of
Probably
injuries.
probably wasn't even going to play him anyway.
It's just not acceptable, mate, on any level. But...
Had the chances?
Sorry?
Had the chances?
No. Did you see the game?
Bits of it.
Didn't have any chances.
Crazy.
We didn't create anything, like literally. I don't even remember a clear-cut scoring opportunity.
That's terrible.
Like,
I did see. I saw
it was
one
terrible.
wild shot from Podolski.
Yeah. That was at the start of the game when it was 0-0, and we played like a few nice, neat, quick passes, which ended in Podolski having a shot from outside the area, which kind of wasn't even a half chance or a chance, and it wasn't even close. But it was a kind of like an early. It was like a range finder, if you know what I mean. You thought, okay, well that's the range finder. Let's press on and create a lot more. We didn't, mate. After that, it was all downhill. And if I was Wenger at the end of that game, I would say, look, I tell you what, that was a disgusting performance. Go home, think about what went wrong, and then first thing in the morning, we're going to come into training, and like when you're at school, we're going to sit round in a circle, cross-legged on the floor, and we're going to start at number 1. That's you, Vito, and we're going to express to the group where it went wrong, like a therapy session. So, Vito, let's start with you. What was the reason for that monstrosity of a performance?
I'm completely pony.
And you, Cole Jenkinson. What's your reasoning for that terrible performance? Do you know what I mean? I just. It's really,
Well, you still got what's going on with Chesney then? Is he about?
He's just injured.
Is he injured?
Yeah,
he's actually injured.
Yeah, he's injured.
He seems to have done since he got sent off for Poland.
Since
He's done fuck all.
since he got sent off at
He's
the
kind of
Euros.
retired or something.
Since he got sent off at the Euros, it's almost like he's fell into this pit of depression, and he can't get himself out of it. He's been sitting at home watching DVDs or something. But we brought him back for that game against Southampton, and he made an error. Of course, he goes back to the old house.
So he actually
he's
played this season.
Yeah, he played against Southampton, and he was at fault for the goal.
Was he on the bench for this game?
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, no.
I don't think so. No, he's still injured, basically. What a complete embarrassing performance. And the thing is, though, I think the players have got to take some responsibility. The players have to take some responsibility for that, not just Wenger. Seems to be a motivation. I don't know, for some reason they just will not. It's like half time comes around and you think second half, we've got to pull our finger out. Second half, we come out, the finger's still in.
So what happened with Oxlade-Chamberlain? He fucking came on and he plugged it off at that time.
I'll tell you what happened with Oxlade-Chamberlain. He came on, went into a challenge, got a knock, went off.
Classic. He's had his tracksuit on.
I'll tell you the only good thing about that was we saw the return of Andre Arshavin.
Yeah.
He came on to... So yeah, poor Andre,
Did
obviously his
he
motivation.
have the glint in his eye? Or?
Yeah, well, he came
Was
on.
he pissed?
He came on, he's thinking, yeah, I've been subbed on. Oh no, but I've been subbed on for a sub that got injured. I'm well up for this.
I thought you'd got a shot of him.
No.
He was on loan, wasn't he, last year?
He was for the end of the season, but he's still with us. I really like Arshavin. I think he's a good, technically quite gifted player. I'd like to like him utilised a bit more, but
I suppose he's the sort of player that in this sort of game where you couldn't do anything, if he was on his game,
exactly, he could unlock
he's the sort of
the
player
door.
that would do it, wouldn't he?
He came on, he didn't. No,
do anything.
It's an interesting. That's a good point you make, and that's I think that's the point with Arshavin. He has that ability to unlock a door.
I think he's probably past it now. He's a sort of player.
He's the wrong side of 30. There's no two ways about that.
He'll go to some sort of Eastern European team and be a star.
Exactly. He was Shakhtar Donetsk, Galatasaray, back to Zenit, FC Rostov.
But it all
where all the other
accounts,
superstars are.
Ironically,
Cozy, it was terrible. It was a terrible game.
Yeah, but by all accounts, Sebastian Bassong had a good game.
He did.
He was obviously listening last week.
He was, mate. He did. Well, I wouldn't
After
say
the song
to be
bashing
fair-
he received.
Yeah, to be fair though, I don't think he had that much to do because we didn't pose that much of a threat. But he did okay. He did a lot better than we gave him credit for last week. So, but I'll tell you what. On the serious side, it's not all about Arsenal. Norwich deserved their win. Let's make that perfectly clear. Totally deserved it. They played quite well.
It was the revenge of the plasterer.
Oh, yeah. Revenge of the plasterer. Yeah.
Someone else is listening.
But to be fair to me, I wasn't slagging him off. I was actually bigging him up there.
Mm.
So he was bigging up Mata. He got mattered. I was bigging up Grant Holt, and I got halted. We've got QPR next at home.
Did you throw Mertesacker up front towards the end?
Yeah, he was lingering in a 6-yard box. But it's his height, isn't it?
It's Wenger.
He's due a goal.
He didn't know what to do, I think.
Well, this is the thing. We didn't really have much.
It's not really a Wenger tactic, is it?
It's not.
You're not putting your centre half up front.
Put it this way, he would have been choked at that performance. There's no two ways about it.
Big star.
I don't know on what level it's acceptable, especially when you've just sold the PFA Player of the Year to Man United.
Then that's the best way to deliver trophies.
And we did top a table recently, didn't we? What table was that, Lee? Arsenal topped a table.
Well, the most expensive.
Yeah. So, alright. Yeah.
Most expensive.
Football team to watch and follow.
And I'll just put that to you. The most expensive season ticket in the Prem.
Yeah.
1,955 for the Arsenal. Obviously, that is not the typical one, but it's the most expensive one to get.
That'll be one of the executive boxes.
The other thing,
Club level.
look at this. The most expensive match day ticket in the Premier League, £126 at
I
Arsenal.
love the way we're top of that column by a total country mile. There's not even one close to that. Not even City.
What match day ticket?
Yeah. I still think they think Henri's playing at the club. I still think they think we've got Henri. I still think they think we're invincibles.
There is
What
a
names
there
are
is
you
a
paying
ticket.
that much
There is a
money for?
ticket that's £26 at Arsenal.
Yeah.
I don't know where the fuck that is.
No.
Should we move on to the last
Yeah,
couple
come
of
on,
games?
mate. Let's just get this.
Last two games were on Sunday. Sunderland versus Newcastle.
Oh,
Much to say about that?
yeah. There's never a dull game between those two, is there? I love the old Tyne-Weir derby myself. I think it's a great
Don't worry
derby. You always get a sending off as well.
TIO.
Yeah.
What
Bit
do you
harsh,
think
I
of
think. Definitely a bit harsh.
I don't know whether he didn't intend to
No.
hurt him, but he did.
No.
He hit him high, didn't he?
Yeah.
With studs on the leg.
I just think.
It's one of those weird ones now that
I just think sometimes in
the probability is that you're going to get sent off for that.
in the context of the game, though, they were 1-0 up. To send him off there is a little bit harsh. You give him a stern warning and book him, and then for anything else he goes. I think the sending off was a little bit cheeky.
Yeah,
But that said, I suppose
it
it's
changed. It changed the game.
I just
But
think
that Sunderland didn't have enough. They didn't have enough really to win that. They didn't deserve to win.
Definitely
They
not.
did not
Definitely
deserve
not. Despite
So-
having the extra man,
They should have been able to. That extra man should have been enough.
Of course.
But it wasn't, was it? Not the slightest.
Mm.
They just didn't have anywhere near enough to do any sort of damage.
the reality is, Newcastle have a lot more quality than Sunderland.
Yeah, I
They
feel a bit
do.
sorry for Shawn Amiobi. He got selected for the game,
Yeah,
and he got sacrificed because of that.
Yeah.
And you could tell he was majorly pissed off.
Well, that's the thing as well.
And especially because he's a local lad, isn't he?
Yeah,
So he's well up for those sort of games. He loves those games.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, good game though. Really good game. I enjoyed it.
Well, the second game of that day was the QPR versus Everton. Similar
Yeah.
sort of game, weren't it?
Was actually. Was,
Got
yeah.
a sending off and an own goal.
It's interesting. There was an own goal. Oh, yeah, was it an own
It
goal?
bounced off the back of the keeper, didn't it? Bit of an odd thing. Yeah, he headed it and it kind of came
Yeah,
out.
fair enough. Fair enough. I thought QPR did all right though. I thought they played quite well. I don't think it's going to be enough to keep the pressure off Mark Hughes though. They needed really a win.
Yeah.
You know, you need wins if you're in his position. But I don't think they deserve to win it though.
QPR,
No,
they don't have enough, do they?
no.
Really,
they didn't deserve enough. They didn't deserve
when
to win.
Everton went down to 10 men again, you're thinking QPR should be able to carve something out here.
Yeah.
They got, like we were talking about last week about Terap, Granero. They got that nucleus in the middle. They need to build around that, and you'd think they've got a supporting cast of like Hoylett, Zamora, and Cesar, who are all okay players. The rest of the team is like a pony. But you'd think with the an extra man should be able to do something.
Yeah,
They've got enough firepower.
Yeah.
Like Hoylett, at the start, he scored that goal, burst out the scenes, looked great, fantastic counter attack, and they had other chances. But how are they not winning that game?
That said, though, Everton gave as good as they got. Really.
Yeah, Everton had chances.
Yeah. I think the draw was a fair result.
Yeah, it was a fair result. But what I'm saying is, how are QPR not going on to win that game? It's the sort of game they should have won at home.
Yeah.
Against
I
10 men.
Yeah, that's
if they're going to win the game, they're going to win that game. But they're not. Are they?
Where's the win coming from now? If he doesn't win that one, what's he doing? Going to the Emirates and getting a result next?
He ain't
Probably.
doing that, is he?
Well, you never know.
You
do
say that,
Yeah,
but with QPR, QPR, it's you next week, isn't it? QPR Arsenal.
Yeah, we've got QPR at home after
That's
Schalke.
a fist in a sort of one.
Well, I don't know. Hopefully, we'll bounce back from. I think we can. So
That'll mean QPR 9 games, not a win.
exactly. This is the thing. We spoke a few weeks back about Hughes needing 2 wins in his next 3. Otherwise, he's getting the chop. He hasn't got a win yet.
He hasn't got a win.
And he's got Arsenal next. If he goes to the Emirates and wins, really, maybe the pressure will ease a bit. But he's got to basically go to the Emirates and win.
Are we interactive at the moment?
We are indeed, mate. We've got the Twitter page, which is at North London Talk. We've got the email, northlondontalk@gmail.com. So we've got a few people on Twitter that we speak to. You might have noticed that.
Yeah, I noticed.
So I've got something here from a friend of mine who's a Liverpool fan, and it was basically in response to our comments, or my comments on Liverpool last time out. And this is what he had to say.
Go for it, shoot.
Liverpool Football Club are realistic. 3 years ago, they nearly went into administration a la Rangers because of 2 massive see you next Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So to be in the Europa League, have a stable financial platform, have players such as Reina, Agger, Skirtle, Johnson, Gerrard, Lucas and Suarez still on their books says something.
I'm wet. Go for it.
And that is it. Won't take them long to be back. Thoughts on that one, Mr. TK?
I think a lot of people, a lot of fans from other teams are probably thinking exactly the same thing. Tottenham are probably thinking the same thing. You're probably thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, we haven't dropped as far. Newcastle are probably thinking they're going to go into. You think the players at Newcastle have got fantastic strike force. Ben Arthur, Toyota, all this. We've bought loads of players. Other teams have. Liverpool, they're quite comparable to Tottenham, I think, at the moment. They're starting something, they're trying to refresh the whole of the team.
Young manager,
whilst still trying to compete.
Yeah.
And they've gone for a young manager who's got those ideas. But whether it'll work, time will tell with Liverpool, I think. What they've got that other teams haven't got is the fan base. They've got the money, whether they think it or not, because they've got that worldwide appeal, worldwide brand. So they're going to get money, whatever.
Great kit deal as well.
Yeah,
Massive
they've
kit
got
deal.
They've got a bigger stadium than most of the teams.
Yeah.
They want to
And
improve.
they've got-
They want to improve it, but it's still bigger than most.
Yeah.
So they've got that sort of money. They have got some really good players, but I'm not convinced. That they're going to be breaking into the top 4 anytime soon. One player I do like that they've got is Shelvey.
Do you?
Yeah. You don't rate him?
Grotesque.
Yeah, but what is that? That's a visual.
Dirty, untechnical.
I actually think he might be. He might be like. I know it's going to sound stupid. Possibly like the new Gerrard.
No chance.
You don't think so?
No, definitely not.
You don't, I think he's got goals in his game. I think he's got a variety of passing. He's not got these. He's not going to be getting 95% pass rate, but neither does Gerrard. Gerrard gets about 70% because he's being adventurous. He's taking risks, and I think Shelvey's got that potential to be that sort of player.
The only thing Shelvey has in his game is a skinhead and fouls. Next point. Next interactive. This came. This comment came on the YouTube page because we're on YouTube as well. Because anyway, I'll read the comment first, and then we can discuss it. Is that gooner chump blind to the fact that Super Jan didn't go to the Arse because he only wanted to play for Spurs? He was only ever going to go to the Gooners if the Spurs move fell through. We've got Koscielny. Don't make me laugh. so I think we should start by thanking him for his view, because he does. To be honest with you, when I said what I said about Vertonghen last time out, I was aware of this, and at the time I did think, oh yeah, but that was the article where he wanted to purely play for Spurs. All I know is I saw an interview with Wenger on Arsenal Player, because you get interviews with Wenger that aren't anywhere else on the Arsenal website, and he just says, "We will not do it." In reference to the Vertonghen transfer, "We will not do it." Saw him say that, and
why?
He didn't say why. He never says why. Just something about professionalism and I don't know. He just didn't want to. But he came out and said he only wanted to play for Spurs. I just think if he could have gone somewhere else, like a Man United, he probably would have done. I don't think he only ever wanted to play for Spurs.
Not necessarily, because sometimes what you've got to think about is that, what is he, 25, something like 24, he's a few years younger than us, and he's obviously grown up watching the Premier League in Holland and Belgium, gone to Holland, hasn't he? And the Premier League has been big, everyone's loved it, and it's like people, they get their favourite team, don't they? For all we know,
all I'm saying
bullshit. I know it's like a lot of these players. They come and go, yeah, I supported Tottenham since I was born and all that sort of shit.
He came out and said that, but did he have to say that, or that was probably the best thing for him to say when he arriving at a new club? All I'm saying is, I'm not saying he would have gone to Arsenal. All I'm saying is that given the chance to go to a club that's playing Champions League football, he's probably going to choose them. That's all I'm saying.
Possibly, but not necessarily. Some people move, don't they? They move. You look at Liverpool's probably a perfect example. Now, they haven't been in the Champions League for God knows how long, but based on their name alone, they can sign players, and I reckon that they could sign players over the Arsenal.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Purely based on the name and the history, and sometimes that's it. People, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They want to sign for one particular club, whether they're good, bad, indifferent, or whatever. Vertonghen, I don't know the facts.
Well, that's it. You just going on a source, aren't you? We all have our sources. Who's right? Who's wrong? The fact is at Spurs, that's the end of it. But we want to thank him for his opinion.
Yeah,
sending that in, because so the Twitter's at North London Talk. If you've listened to this, or just and you want us to talk about anything, send it in. We'll talk about it. Lee's got his blog, which is footballbyletters.wordpress.com.
That's it, yeah.
And
uploaded a new letter to this morning.
Yep, just mention that.
Just a quick one. It's just on Reading on there. When I went to Reading, and I just thought that the fans didn't really support their club. They didn't vocalise it enough. And I just wrote a letter to the chief exec. I actually got a response from him. Actually handwritten, well, not handwritten, but hand
really?
signed.
That's not on the website?
Not on the website.
Not yet.
I will put it on the next couple of days. He didn't really say much. He kind of just thanked me for the letter and said he's going to pass it on to the marketing manager and two other people. So that was a nice little, just nice to get an actual response from a human being, basically.
Yeah, rather than the one about Liverpool.
Yeah, and getting mugged off by some secretary who's
Liverpool,
Brendan Rodgers stamp.
Do you know what I liked?
Bang.
Do you know what I liked about that one was I liked the fact that your letter, the content of your letter was sent, and the reply was basically it was just an opportunity for Liverpool Football Club to kind of boast about their past achievements, most of which happened 30 years ago. Like, you know, it's just, which I think is quite sums up the club in a way.
It does, doesn't it?
We can read it actually.
So the response I got from Liverpool.
This was to a real in-depth letter about how Glenn Johnson could be utilised
Yeah, that's right. In an attacking position.
in an attacking position.
But they
rather
just
than-
came and they said, "Thank you for your recent letter and comments." That's the first line. New paragraph. With such a long history and some of the best fans in the world, all of us can be proud to be part of this magnificent football club. Since it was founded in 1892, Liverpool Football Club has become one of the world's most historic and famous football club, having won 18 league titles, 7 FA Cups, 8 League Cups, 5 European Cups, 3 UEFA Cups, 3 European Super Cups,
That is a list longer than my arm.
and 15 charity shields.
We had to get the charity shields in
What we
there.
do. And then it just says they're going to keep on working hard. Thanks for the continued support. You never walk alone. That's that.
Then that's the best way to deliver trophies.